Hey, I'm SpongeBob SquarePants, and this is what I did last week. I hope everyone had a good holiday week. I'm ending the final week of my vacation here, so that's pretty sad. This past week was pretty relaxing though. I didn't really do anything that required a whole bunch of brain power. I just put on some TV shows in the background and went grinding and doing stuff in WoW. And I really enjoyed it. It was a nice, peaceful, relaxing end to the year kind of thing. And I just kept logging in and out of different characters and doing stuff on them for bits at a time until I got bored, and then off to the other one I went. Probably the most intensive thing that I did this week was I ran Mythic Plus for like 7 hours on Friday with the guild. And it was so much fun. We just sat in Discord, just joking around and having a good time. And it was crazy how fast time went by because it was light outside and then suddenly it wasn't. Throughout the day, one of our guildies was having a hard time admitting that he's a Taylor Swift fan, which there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know why he's so ashamed of that. But we were just trying to encourage him to accept what he likes and not feel bad about it. But yeah, I think he's still having a hard time with that. So if you think it's okay to be a Taylor Swift fan like I do and the rest of the guild does, you can just leave it in the comments. And we'll send that over to the guildie that has that problem and make sure that he sees that he's accepted in this community. Moving on to my alts. I didn't do a whole lot of gearing on them. On my Paladin, I got one more item level. I grabbed a 610 trinket from the vault that replaced a 597 and then just ran a couple bosses on LFR. Same on my Shaman, I just ran LFR on him once. In his vault, he had a 603 tier headpiece that I took that replaced my 584. And with that also, I went up one item level to 592. And then my mage, I was able to finish leveling up to level 80 and fully deck out in the Siren Isle gear. That was my 5th level 80, which got the last achievement, which gives me 25% more experience when I'm leveling. Pretty stoked about that. I don't think I've ever had 5 max level characters this early on in an expansion, so pretty excited. With that 25% buff, as well as the 20% from the anniversary event, I jumped on my Elemental Shaman and I got him from 73 to 80. It was just so fast, and I'm really going to miss the anniversary buff. This was my BFA boosted character that has all the reps and quest lines progressed already, so I'm just going to use him to finish up some of the BFA achievements that I have left for Alliance. Also, speaking of the anniversary event, make sure that if you haven't already, you hand in your bronze celebration tokens. One of the vendors sells time warped badges, and 25 of the tokens buys you 500 time warped badges. So I've been stockpiling on those. I think I'm up to like 16,000 time warp badges again. So make sure you're taking a look at that. This is a transferable currency, so get it off all your alts onto one guy. And just buy what you need because the anniversary event does end next week. So don't miss out on anything that you wanted to buy. Some of the casual stuff that I was doing was continuing to go through delves. Brain is up to level 57. I'm farming the Abominable Grinch as much as I can because I'm missing, I think, one more Christmas toy that I need. And then one of the bigger things this week on my warrior is that I changed my Shadowlands Covenant to Necrolord to start working on those achievements. It's kind of annoying that the anima is Covenant specific and I need to buy an item to transfer all of it to the new Covenant. Not sure why the currency works that way instead of like every other currency. It's also annoying that all of my lost souls don't come with me as well when I switch Covenants, so I have to do daily quests and stuff to get those to, like, for example, unlock the upgrades. Not a fan of that. And just overall, I'm not really a fan of Necrolords or Maldraxxus. I just feel anxious when I'm there. But I hear it's one of the more tedious set of achievements to do, so I want to get it out of the way and then work on the other ones that I have left. It does look like the Shadowlands intro bug has been fixed, so I may try to get more alts over there to start farming the Covenant-specific mounts as well. Going into the achievements of the week, I started at 42,845, and I'm ending the week at 42,970, so an increase of 125. I got the Treasures of the Storm achievement, which is to collect 10 treasures in Siren Isle. I found out there were a few hidden Winter Veil achievements, so I went and started looking through those. I got one of them called Junior Racing Champion, which is using last year's Christmas toy. You and someone else just basically need to use that and then just fly around in a circle together for like a minute. I finished all the Allied Race Heritage Armor achievements finally, been holding off on those since Mop Remix. And I also got max rep with Chromie from Legion, so I got the Chromie Homie achievement. Honestly, it took more time to understand how the Chromie scenario worked than it took to get max rep. But with that achievement, I am now 100% on all reputation achievements on Horde. There's a few on Alliance that I need to work on that I wish I did sooner, but at the very least on Horde, I'm 100%, which is very exciting. On my Alliance, I got one of the reps out of the way, which was Order of Embers. I finished that up this week. I finished up Drust Do It, which is the Lore Master of Drustvar achievement. This is the last Lore Master achievement I needed in BFA, so that's all done. And then lastly, I completed the Shoot for the Moon achievement, which is another Alliance one. This is to complete all the Shadowmoon Valley bonus objectives in Draenor. And with that, I am now 100% done all Draenor quest-related achievements. I'm hoping to hit 43k this week, which I believe I said was my low-level goal for the War Within. I got that pretty quick and I'm pretty happy about it. So now full steam ahead to 45k. And then for mounts this week, I finished up the daily quest on Siren Isle that takes like 10 days. I was able to get this prismatic Snapdragon because of it. And then because of my swaps to Necrolord, I got this armored Bonehoof Toralis, as well as the Warbred Toralis as well. In other news, like I said, I watched a bunch of stuff this week, starting with the 1997 Berserk anime. It's about a mercenary who joins a group of people during medieval times and they just go do stuff. It's not the best thing I've ever watched, but it was okay enough to keep watching it. Like there was something about it that I just didn't want to stop. So I finished all that. It was very confused by the ending. I felt like I missed some episodes because it took a turn in a way that I just made absolutely no sense to the rest of the season. And then it leaves you on a cliffhanger, which looks to be followed up on finally, like, 19 years later from the 2016 sequel. And this sequel apparently people really hate, specifically the animation style. But I'm about halfway done, and overall I don't mind neither the story nor the animation. I think the animation especially looks very cool, so I like it. And then I started watching Fargo this week as well. I finished season 1 and 2. It looks like every season is its own story, but there's like an overarching story for the entire series. Season 1 is about this meek guy played by Martin Freeman who runs into a hitman at the hospital who's played by Billy Bob Thornton. Martin kind of jokingly asks Billy to kill his bully, which he does, and then there's a giant investigation and other twists and turns throughout the series that were very fun to watch, and I was enthralled. I could not stop watching the show. I think I finished it in like a day, if not a day and a half. Season 2 I didn't really like as much. It takes something that's mentioned in Season 1 and expands upon it further, but it was kind of boring, and there was this thing that happens throughout this season a few times, and it's never explained, and it really bugged me. The whole principle of Chekhov's gun applies here. It was never explained. It didn't advance the story. Like, no one knows what the point of this thing was. So that kind of soured me. But that's it for me. That's all the stuff that I wanted to talk about this week. I don't really care about the new year. It's just a number changing on the calendar for me. But if you do celebrate, I hope you have fun and I hope you're safe. Let me know how your week went. Let me know what's going on in your world. Let me know how your holidays went. Let me know what your plans are today if you have any. And if you like this video and you want my videos to be pushed out to your feed as soon as I upload them, make sure to subscribe to this channel because I would really appreciate that. Thanks for watching. I love you a long time. Have yourself a fantastic week, a terrific new year, and I'll talk at you next year. Love you.